Welcome to online yoga classes. Pranayama. Pranayama is an efficient technique for personality development. The technique was designed by our ancient rishis about 5000 years ago. Pranayama regulates and balances the flow of prana in our body. There are 72 main channels and about 72,000 subchannels in our body. Prana flows through all these channels. These channels are not physical. According to Vedic philosophy, prana is the life force or life energy and is the basis of all creations in the universe. We can also think of prana as oxygen, which is the basis of life. We cannot live without oxygen. We get oxygen from the air we breathe in. Prana is the bridge between the body and the mind. Body is the grossest manifestation of prana. Mind, intellect and ego are subtler manifestations of prana. Mind controls all the functions in our body. Mind changes the distribution of prana and thereby affects the functions in the physical body. By stimulating the hypothalamus, our mind prepares our body to face any situation. There is a close relation between the mind and the prana. When the mind is disturbed, the prana gets disturbed. And when the prana is disturbed, the mind also gets disturbed. The imbalance in the flow of prana disturbs the physiological functions. Pranayama can control the autonomic nervous system. Our respiratory system is both voluntary and involuntary. Involuntary means breathing takes place continuously whether we are awake or asleep. Voluntary means we can breathe with awareness and we can change the pattern of our breathing. We can use voluntary breathing to control the involuntary system. Most of the automated functions are controlled by the lower centers in the brain. Hypothalamus is the master of the lower brain and controls all autonomic functions in our body. The hypothalamus works through autonomic nervous system and endocrine system. Normal breathing is controlled by hypothalamus. The higher centers have the control even to change the functions of the lower brain. The higher centers of the brain control the voluntary functions through the voluntary nervous system. The connection between the VNS and the ANS is through the higher centers. So, we can change the breathing rate and pattern by using the VNS to override the autonomic control of the hypothalamus. By systematically regulating the speed and rhythm of breathing, the autonomic functions can be corrected. The defects in breathing can be corrected in this way. Pranayama is the process by which this correction is brought out. Through regulated breathing, we can harness the higher centers of the brain to get control over prana and mind. The objective of pranayama is control over the prana and through prana control over the mind. Pranayama is conscious breathing. During pranayama, we breathe consciously. There are about 100 billion brain cells in our brain. Many of our brain cells are not activated. The very process of conscious breathing activates more and more brain cells and improves our memory. Pranayama is regulated breathing. During pranayama, we regulate the speed and pattern of our breathing. A concentrated flow of prana is directed to different parts of our body. We can direct prana to different parts of our body by positioning our palms and fingers in different postures. Pranayama is slow and full breathing. In our normal breathing, we do not use full capacity of our lungs. Lungs are not fully expanded or contracted. We use hardly 60% of our lungs capacity during normal breathing. In pranayama breathing, we breathe to the full capacity of our lungs. All the 5 lobes of our lungs expand fully and contract fully. Our normal breathing is not rhythmic. During pranayama breathing, we breathe slowly and rhythmically. Normally, we breathe 15 to 20 times per minute. In pranayama breathing, the speed of breathing reduces to 4 to 6 times per minute. Slow breathing balances the flow of prana and calms down our mind. Pranayama removes all impurities from our blood. There are 3 ways in which the impurities are removed from our body. 1. Through lungs, about 70%. 2. Through kidneys, about 20%. And 3. Through skin, about 10%. Our lungs are like balloons with millions of tiny air sacs within them. Exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide takes place at these air sacs. During normal breathing, air does not reach some of these air sacs. Hence, all the impurities in the blood are not removed. During pranayama breathing, all the 5 lobes of our lungs expand and contract fully, and air reaches all the air sacs. Therefore, exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide takes place at all these air sacs, and thus all the impurities from the blood are removed. Oxygen reaches all the cells of our body. Literally, pranayama removes most of the impurities from our blood. Pranayama cures most of the psychosomatic diseases. There is an intimate connection between mind and prana. When mind is disturbed, the prana also gets disturbed. This shows up as breathing imbalances. The imbalance in breathing disturbs the physiological functions. The imbalance also affects the digestive system and results in indigestion. The disturbances start in the mind because of stress, anxiety, fear, emotions, etc. When the mind is disturbed, it disturbs the prana flow as well. Such frequent disturbances over a period of time leads to deep-rooted tensions. Disturbances in the mind are one of the basic causes of all psychosomatic diseases like asthma, blood pressure, back pain, joint pains, arthritis, diabetes, etc. In turn, such diseases disturb prana flow and the mind. The feedback continues and aggravates the disease status. These diseases can be cured by controlling the agitations in the mind. Since the mind and prana are closely related, by controlling the flow of prana, we can control the mind as well. It is easy to control prana because we can do breathing consciously also. The mind is such a complex mechanism, and for beginners, it may be difficult to directly control the mind. Pranayama corrects the imbalances in prana flow, and through prana, the imbalances in the mind also get corrected. Pranayama also helps in proper digestion of the food that we take. Thus, pranayama is the best cure for all psychosomatic diseases. Pranayama cleanses all the air passages. We inhale through our nose. The inhaled air passes through the main windpipe. The main windpipe divides into two. The right windpipe branches into three sub-windpipes and enter the three lobes in the right lung. Similarly, the left windpipe branches into two sub-windpipes and enter into the two lobes in the left lung. These windpipes divide and redivide into smaller windpipes and enter the millions of tiny air sacs in our lungs. Thus, there are a huge number of windpipes which reach the air to the air sacs and back up to the nose. Pranayama breathing cleanses all these air passages and smoothens the flow of air through all these air passages. Pranayama is a process for overall personality development. Each individual has a lot of hidden talents. Pranayama is a scientific technique to develop one's hidden potential to the maximum level possible. Benefits of doing pranayama: better health, better respiration, better digestion, better body-mind coordination, increased concentration, improved memory, better control of mind, slows down the speed of mind, better immunity, best means of cure for psychosomatic diseases like asthma and breathing related problems, blood pressure, heart problems, back pain, neck pain, joint pains, diabetes, arthritis, digestive disorders, acidity, ulcers, piles, menstrual disorders, headache, anxiety, depression, insomnia, etc. For better results, you must do pranayama every day in the morning and evening. Thanks very much for watching this video. If you have any question, please contact me at chandran_pgt@yahoo.co.in. Thanks.